Hi, I'm George Foreman. Do you have an idea for a new product or invention? People ask me all the time, George, how do I get my idea in front of companies? How do I get a patent? What do I do next? I'll tell you like I'll tell them all. Call my friends at InventHelp.
Call InventHelp today for free information. InventHelp can submit your invention to companies who are interested in receiving new ideas. Call InventHelp today.
To get your free inventor's information, call 1-800-352-1609. That's 1-800-352-1609.
If you want to work until you keel over, have less of everything in retirement, or give back more of your hard-earned money to the stock market again, then just ignore me. But if you'd like to protect the money you save, receive a steady, predictable retirement income, and enjoy financial security for as long as you live, then listen to this. You can download a free report that reveals the wealth-building secrets Wall Street and the banks don't want you to know. You'll learn how you can get guaranteed growth, safety, and real prosperity without risking your money in the Wall Street casino, and how to get the money you need when you need it, simply by asking for it. This is the best way to have a 100% secure retirement, and know your money will last as long as you do. To learn more about this method and to get your free report, go to 52security.com. That's the number 52security.com. 52security.com. Go to 52security.com.
Hurt or injured in a car accident? It can be hard to take the proper legal action after a car accident, but waiting can cost you more. The law requires car accident victims to assert claims promptly. You could lose out by simply waiting. Call 800-709-4667 right now to see what your claim could be worth when handled by a skilled attorney. With a lawyer fighting and speaking up for you, you could be entitled to a big cash award. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Now it's fast and easy to connect with the legal help you need after your car accident. Call 800-709-4667. The call is free, but you need to act now before time runs out on your claim. You need a lawyer to fight for you, protect you, and get you the compensation you need and deserve. Time's wasting. Call 800-709-4667. That's 800-709-4667. Call now.
I considered suicide so I wouldn't put my family through all the pain.
Many of our warriors are returning home from the battlefield, only to face a new war as they struggle with devastating injuries. At Wounded Warrior Project, we understand. We're there to help.
Even though you think you're broken, you're not. It's the physical and the emotional healing that Wounded Warrior Project provides.
With a gift of just $19 a month, you can join Wounded Warrior Project. You'll help provide critically needed programs and services that rebuild lives.
Beautiful. There you go, buddy.
The ongoing needs of our wounded and their families will continue for many years to come. Now is the time to show your support. Call now or go online with your gift of just $19 a month, and we'll send you this Wounded Warrior Project blanket.
It made me feel that there's people out there that care about us.
After this event, we can finally maybe start to heal as a family and move forward.
We need your help. The families are hurting.
For many of our wounded heroes, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Please call or go online right now.
You shouldn't have to pay to talk to the people closest to you, or the people who used to be. That's why Umbrella Wireless is proud to announce the new Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan. Now you'll get unlimited calls to your best buddy, your mom, or Cindy, once she realizes that you're seriously meant for each other and should stop screening your calls. Now the 30 minutes of agonizing silence where you're both afraid to hang up may drain your battery, but it won't drain your wallet. And you'll get unlimited calls just to check if she still cares enough to pick up, with no extra charges. With the Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, your phone will automatically answer calls from your ex, because maybe she finally realizes that you're the only one for her and wants to get coffee sometime. Now, after lonely nights of looking at pictures of the road trip you took together when everything was great, your misspelled texts are absolutely free. The only thing you have to pay for is the booze. The Friends, Family, and Recent Ex-Girlfriend plan, because she wants you back. She just doesn't know it yet.
Rod Eccles Show.
From CNN, following the continuing saga of the free-range parents. Now, if you remember, I brought you this case, and there's another case that we're still following, but I brought you this case about a Maryland family, Maryland parents, who got in trouble because they let their 6 and 10-year-old walk home alone from a playground that was about a mile from their house. Now, 5,280 feet. And if you walk, the average human being's walking speed is about 3.5 miles per hour. So it might be a half-hour walk for the kids. It might be. Now, understand that kids used to have to walk that distance to school for quite a while. And that was okay. They're going to school. It's a mile, a little under a mile. They can walk to school. It's only a 20, 30-minute walk. What's the big deal? They get some exercise. We did. We had I walked to school. That was probably about a mile. Maybe a little bit more. 20, 30-minute walk. It's just, even in the dead cold of winter, that's just the way it was. But anyway, this the Maryland free-range parents have found out the hard way that they probably shouldn't be letting their kids walk home alone at such a young age, right? Well, the Maryland free-range parents at the center of a national debate over parental supervision have been cleared of child neglect charges related to an incident that happened back in December, in which their children, ages 6 and 10 at the time, were allowed to walk home alone from a playground about a mile from their house. If you live in a safe neighborhood, why would you, a 10-year-old? What if they were on bikes instead? Is that different? Put them on. Maybe the parents should have just given them bikes. However, Danielle and Alexander Meitiv, MEITIV, of Silver Spring, are still under investigation for a similar episode last month, in which their children were picked up by authorities while walking home alone and detained for several hours. The couple's attorney hailed the ruling by Child Protective Services of Montgomery County, saying, "I think this most recent conclusion by CPS, Child Protective Services, validates our position all along that the Meitivs were never responsible for any form of child neglect, and there was no basis to investigate the family or detain the children." Now, their attorney, Matthew Dowd, added that the family was notified via letter last week about the case. But there's another case pending about the same thing. So the child CPS, why is it government agencies always have 3 letters? Think about it. Most of them, almost all of them, are 3 letters. 3 letters. Well, and I'm not, Department of State. It's not really 3 letters. That's 2. We don't consider the Department of State, but Department of Homeland Security, DHS, Child Protective Services, CPS. It's always about services too, isn't it? It's about protection of the. They always come up with these names that sound like they're protecting and providing protective services for the American people, and it's all for your own good, for your own protection, people. We're protecting the children by making sure that parents do not allow their 10-year-old. How old do you have to be before you can walk home by yourself over a mile? I'm just. They didn't. I would have asked, how old do you? So we don't have to come here again. How old do you have to be? I mean, think about it. How many other parents might get caught if they don't determine, this 10-year-old can walk by himself now. Okay, well, how young can they go? Is 9 too young? No. 8? Yeah, 8's eight. Okay. So what if an 8-year-old is walking with a 10-year-old? Is that the 10-year-old's okay? So can the 8-year-old be with the 10-year-old? Well, yeah. Okay, can a 7-year-old be with a 10-year-old? Maybe. Can a first grader is 6 years old. Get sibling, can they do that? Maybe not. Okay, so 7 with a 10 is fine. They're going to have to start determining this stuff. This isn't about Child Protective Services, by the way. This is not about protecting children. This is about government trying to determine how you raise your kid. Notice how they are nowhere in the story are they trying to determine how young is too young. So parents are just supposed to, I don't know. Is a 13-year-old too young to walk home by themselves? 13-year-old and a 6-year-old? Would they have been picked up? If you think a 10-year-old, is an 11-year-old and a 6-year-old, is that too young? I don't know, 12 and 6? What is the age combo and age cutoff for this kind of stuff? They don't say. So a parent is I guess, we're just supposed to watch our kids 24/7, right? And if we don't, somehow parents are neglectful of not watching their kids. Well, now, anyway, the police drove the kids home a few hours later. Someone from Child Protective Services arrived at the home and said the family needed to agree not to let the children be unsupervised until the matter was resolved within the agency, or the children would be taken into custody of Child Protective Services. Now, the family appealed, and they were successful in their appeal. Maryland Department of Human Resources. So, they're coming in telling you, well, you have to do what we tell you to until, a judge sorts it out. So, in other words, they could just come to your door and tell you that you have to do whatever they tell you to do until a judge tells you differently. In that if you don't do what they tell you to do, they're going to come and take your kids away. Think about this for a second. You cannot let your 10-year-old walk from the park a mile away by himself again until a judge tells you it's okay. Because if you do, we're going to take your kids. Even if the judge eventually says it's fine, we're still going to come and take your kids. So there's this arbitrary notion that you are not responsible for your kids the way that you should be responsible for them. You have to do what the government tells you, which is not constitutional, and it's BS. Personally, I'd say, well, were my kids in danger from anyone? No. Why did the police stop them? Because they saw them walking. And how did they know where the kids lived? They could have lived, just a half a block, 2 houses down, and the cops picked them up. Why? Next time you do it, how about I sue your butt? Because there's, why would the kids aren't lost? They're not in trouble. They're not doing anything in trouble. They're freely walking. No issues. They tell the cops that we're fine, and yet the cops pick them up. Now, if I'm a parent and I see this happening, and we know that people have often imitated cops, I would think that there's something wrong. My kids are being forced into a cop car. I would think maybe they're not cops. I would probably start shooting first, asking questions later. And if you came to my door and started demanding and telling me how to raise my kids, I'd give you a smack to get off my property. They're my kids, not yours. There's no neglect going here. Why don't you actually go and find some parents who truly are abusing or neglecting their kids and leave parents alone who are trying to raise their kids in the best possible way that they see fit. Learn to be independent. Okay, walk home. That's fine. I don't think maybe it's because I grew up in a different era, but walking a mile or riding your bike a mile, you went to school that way. It was no